and welcome. This is Healthy India and I'm your host Lottie Alaric. Well folks, we are back again this week to take you on this journey of good health. Today we will be talking about oral health. Now this is one health which is very pertinent, but this is also one point where we tend to neglect a lot of things. And because of sheer neglect, sometimes we lose out on our teeth, which can actually be taken care of very easily, provided we go for our usual checks. So what all is required to get your teeth checked and what are the problems that you can prevent from happening going any further? This is what we'll be talking about today. So to tell us more on oral health, I have in the studio three eminent doctors, and I'm very happy to have with me Dr. Mahesh Verma, who's the Principal Director of the Maulana Azad Institute of Dental Sciences. Thank you so much for being here. We're also joined by Professor Dr. O.P. Kharbanda, Department of Orthodontics and Dentofacial Deformities, Center for Dental Education and Research, AIIMS. I welcome you to the show,
Namaskar.
sir. And now we're also joined by Professor and Head Dr. Sunita Gupta, Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology, again from Maulana Azad Institute of Dental Sciences. I welcome you, Sunita.
Thank you.
So folks, before we start asking any questions to our panelists here, let's try and get a little bit of an idea as to what oral health really is all about through this report.
Oral health means more than just an attractive smile. It's a reflection and an essential part of total health. One who has bleeding gums or decaying teeth can hardly be called healthy. Oral health refers to the condition of teeth, gums and the mouth as a whole. In our country, unfortunately, oral health is at a discount. Vast segments of our population suffer from tooth decay, gingivitis, periodontitis, pyorrhea and even mouth cancer. Accumulation of plaque and tartar around the gums often go unnoticed and lead to painful conditions later. Many systematic disorders have been identified as contributory factors, as has also been the role of certain classes of drugs that lead to or aggravate gingivitis and periodontitis. And then there is a role of the things we eat. It is recognized that starchy foods, sugars, soft foods and refined foods also predispose one to dental ailments. Perhaps a little more care in this regard and a little attention to oral hygiene, regular brushing of the teeth and visits to the dentist could go a long way in ensuring that our breath remain fresh and our smiles captivating.
Well, so let me just ask by asking a very obvious question to Dr. Mahesh Verma here, that why is it that oral health or oral hygiene is that very important?
See, your body health starts from mouth. We as we grow, we tend to neglect our teeth, our mouth, and we also tend to play with our bodies. We abuse our bodies. Abuse of the body doesn't mean physical abuse.
Right.
Abuse in terms of eating junk food, eating something which is not healthy, eating frequently, not maintaining teeth, mouth, hygiene. So your neglect, your general health neglect, starts right from the mouth. And if your mouth is not healthy, we can't expect your body to be healthy. So it's said that mouth is the mirror of your body. So it is very pertinent. And another thing which is often seen is that you are healthy, you apparently healthy, and but you have not healthy mouth, you have unhealthy mouth. Even though it will not impact your day-to-day working or your function, but you will not have that wellness, that feeling of wellness. That will not be there, because somewhere you have gum problems, you have unhygienic conditions in the mouth, which is somewhere affecting your body, general health. So apparently you feel, I'm okay, I'm doing fine, I'm going around, there's no problem, I'm no pain, but that feeling of wellness, that is not there. So it's very important that if you, in order you to be 100% healthy bodily, I think it's very important that we maintain, we also look after the oral health.
True, true. Yeah. So, Dr. Kharbanda, before we start addressing the problems that could really come up, what is the best way of really taking care of our teeth?
Now, if you ask me what is the best way of taking care of the teeth, then I would think that you are talking about teeth, you are talking about gums,
yes,
and you are also talking about oral
cavity. Yes.
Because when we talk of oral health, we are talking about that you should have healthy teeth, you should have healthy gums, and you should not have abused your oral cavity, which is very much predisposed to different conditions like oral cancer. Now, the best way, first we have to say that we should be as close to nature as we can.
Okay.
That is the first thing I would think. That if I have to choose between an orange juice and an orange, or an apple juice and an apple, then I think I would prefer to eat apple. Because as you eat natural food, especially during childhood, early years of your life, that helps to grow your teeth and jaws to the normal. Because the problem starts from the very young childhood. Or even I would say even earlier to that, if you have a small baby and he is being bottle fed with a sugary syrup just to make him sleep, or with sugar and milk in the evening before going to bed, that leads to bottle caries. So, it starts from there and it goes lifelong. So, and if you go even before that, when the teeth are forming in mother's womb, mother has to has proper nutrition diet, which should include a balanced diet and of course extra things which you need for the growth of the fetus, and the teeth form there. So, if you have well formed teeth, then you need to take care of them by giving them, like if the baby is going into sleep, then perhaps last thing could be water or milk without water, milk without sugar. Then as the child is young, that we have to see that he doesn't take junk food, especially sticky food, which leads to dental caries. And as we grow elder, that is the time we tend to have more gum disease. So, for gum disease, we need to have proper oral hygiene methods, and as we grow still elder, we must use additional devices to keep the teeth clean, which we will be talking about brushes, interdental brush and floss. So,
so you've given us a picture of from the womb to the tomb, actually.
Yes, to the tomb. Yes,
right.
Yes.
So, the kind of care that we really need to take. So, Sunita, in our country somehow, at the most what a person would do is say brush twice in a day, say first thing in the morning and last thing at night. So, is that really enough, or are there other things also that need to be done?
Very well said, Lottie. It's not that just brushing is going to be adequate, because brush is where it will only take two surfaces in consideration, because only the surface which it can face around. But one has to use some devices, for example, which goes in the interdental areas also. So, between the contact of the teeth, which we normally tend to neglect upon, or where the brush bristles do not reach. So, in those situations, it's important that we use, for example, a dental floss regularly, because whatever the food, the starchy material, or the film of the bacteria, what we call it as a plaque, which forms between the teeth surfaces, contacts of the teeth, it removes very gently if you go with that inside the teeth, between the contacts. So, it will help to remove the debris, and then if you brush, so that cleans all the surfaces at the same time. The other thing which is very important is to clean the tongue. So, it has to be very gently cleaned with the brush itself, because it has those taste buds and it has those crevices, so which needs to be, one should not use those tongue cleaners, but instead should use a brush bristles to clean the tongue, because most of the oral bacteria, it goes and it lodges on that tongue, which if neglected upon, so it could be a source of further infections in the mouth at the same time. And of course, we recommend using the mouthwashes also.
Okay.
And something on the preventive aspects, for example, if the child, when they have a very deeper grooves, for example, so we have the Fisher sealants now available, which prevents it, further any kind of food lodgement to happen, for the formation of any acids to happen, and in turn no caries will form. So, I think the best thing is to take a very periodic checkups with the dentist, and of course at home to do these hygiene
Right,
aids.
right. Well, so that's all about taking care of the teeth. Now, let's just start with a few problems. So, the first one probably being bad breath. Now, this is something again which many people may not even know the reason for, and it would go neglected totally, and they may not even go to a doctor. So, what is this bad breath all about? Why does it happen?
You know, most people think that bad breath is not because of the teeth. There's a myth that you know, they think that it is because of some other
in the
sources,
stomach
from the
or-
stomach
right.
or from the sinuses or from the nose. But you know, 99.9%, you know, it's rather rare that bad breath is because of some other source. It's predominantly it is because of your bad mouth. Bad mouth is an unhygienic mouth. See, and you know, the worst thing is that he is suffering from bad breath. You know, because he cannot smell his own breath, and even if he is able to smell it, because he gets kind of you know, immune to you know, those that smell. So it's the other person.
Right.
And you know, it's seen that every person, I mean, it's rather rather common that every second person is suffering from bad breath.
Bad breath.
And not aware about it. So you know, bad breath, of course, you need to get your, you know, teeth cleaned regularly. Teeth cleaned in the sense that not teeth exactly, the teeth and the gums, because all the dirt is, you know, between the teeth and the gums or below the gums, and that's that could be the hard deposits, but there are soft deposits which need to be cleaned every day, because the moment we eat anything, within minutes, you know, that layer of food starts forming over the teeth, and which builds up slowly, adds up, then causes colonization of bacteria. Bacteria starts flourishing, and then that's also contributing to bad breath. As Dr. Sunita just said, that one of the main causes of bad breath is that of course we brush, you know, we do a rinse of mouth, but we don't clean between teeth. So,
Right.
lot of amount of food debris is getting
Deposited there.
you know, putrefied between the teeth, which needs to be taken out through a floss or some interdental brush or some aid. And another common cause is that we don't clean our tongue, and you know, the tongue can actually can have millions of bacteria, you know, and many of these bacteria are actually causing smell, you know, because their toxins and their products is also contributing to the bad smell. So it's actually a blend of everything, So yes, it's a very common, and it is probably one of the reasons that we not only see a dentist for periodic you know, periodic hygiene and checkup, and sometimes cavities, deep cavities
Right.
can also give, because the
Bad
food
breath, right.
stuck there. But it's also an alarming signal that we need to augment, we need to be aggressive about maintaining a mouth.
Right. Now, Dr. Kharbanda, another very common problem is dental caries, the cavities. And again, that also, until and unless the tooth really gives you an ache, a bad ache, most people will not go to a doctor. So, why do these caries happen?
Before I go to caries, I just want to add a little bit to Dr.
Please,
Verma's
please.
point, that in young children, the bad breath could be if you are breathing through your mouth. So many children who have recurrent tonsillar abscess, tonsillar infection, throat infection, they stop breathing through nose. So when they sleep with mouth open. So mouth becomes very dry, and this dry mouth not only leads to bad smell, but also it leads to bad teeth in terms of deformities. So that is one aspect. Now the second thing is about dental caries. Now dental caries in general, you can say that it is a decay of the tooth.
Right.
Decay of the tooth, and this decay occurs because of some acids are produced in the mouth, and they are produced in the mouth below the plaque, which is a slimy layer. Like if you leave some water, bad water in the glass, after a few days there is a slimy layer there. So we have a similar slimy layer. Now under the slimy layer, when the pH bacteria with sugar, especially the free sugars, when they are available in the mouth, and it depends upon the frequency. Like if we have taken a juice, then have taken chocolate, then after some time we have taken some other sweet. So these sugars are adding up. Bacteria are enjoying having their feast. So they produce acids, and acid would demineralize the surface of the tooth.
Right.
And it appears to us much later actually, before we can clinically detect as a dentist or
Right.
as a common man,
Right.
because this problem is occurring at the microscopic level. And then it becomes like a white patch, and this white patch becomes black patch with another pigmentation going there, then there is a cavity. So that is how the caries is produced.
Right. Well, folks, so I hope you're listening to all the doctors here really are saying that we need to have very hygienic oral cavity. That means we really need to take care, and brushing may not really be enough. Well, it's time for us to slip into a very short break, but when we come back, you can also throw in your questions, anything that is related to your teeth. And the numbers are running on your screen, and I would repeat those. They are 1800115314 and 23035420. Please remember, today we are only talking about oral health. So don't go away, as we'll all see you on the other side. Welcome back. This is Healthy India, and today we are talking about oral health. So if you have a question, any doubt in your mind, and if you want any clearance from all the three doctors here, this is your time. Just pick up your phone and call us at 1800115314 and 23035420. Now, we were talking about dental caries. So, Dr. Sunita, now once these happen, people, what they would do is, get some clove oil or just kind of poke in a little clove itself and think that, okay, now things will be all right. But what is really needed to be done?
So it's something that you have a little ditch on the road. So if it is a very shallow one, then you can, very smoothly you can fill it up. So now we have the materials which are tooth colored materials. And I think they should immediately, the first thing is it should be immediately addressed upon. So one should not wait that you have a little toothache till then. So the moment you find that there is some little lodgement happening on the surface and you find a black pit maybe, or even in children also, specifically in the upper anterior teeth between the two teeth surfaces, so you find a little discoloration like blackish or grayish, immediately they should be going to a dentist to get it filled. A little deeper layer, it depends upon. So it has a nerve supply and a blood supply also, but if the bacteria, they go deeper down in the tooth structure and it involves those nerve endings as well, so it starts getting, there's a little pain one starts feeling upon. So initially you'll have a little, there won't be any pain, there'll be food lodgement. The second step would be that you start getting sensitivity to cold. The third step would be you get sensitivity to hot and cold together.
Right.
So that is the stage when we normally remove the pulp from that tooth and we do a treatment called as a root canal treatment. So it depends upon what stage, but I think at any point of time, the best thing would be to chew a fibrous food, not let the cavities happen, brush the teeth, and the moment somebody has sweet food or something, should rinse the mouth thoroughly.
Yeah, that should be something that should be followed. Well, we have our first viewer today. This is Vibha from Mumbai. So, Vibha, can you hear me, please?
Hello?
Yes, Vibha, can you hear me?
हाँ हमें एक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं कि जैसे ब्रश करते हैं तो क्या मिरर के सामने ब्रश करना जरूरी होता है, या जैसे हस्बैंड हमारे या बच्चे क्या करते हैं टीवी के आगे बैठ जाते हैं ब्रश करने के लिए, तो वैसे भी ब्रश कर सकते हैं चलते फिरते, या कितनी देर तक करना चाहिए?
All right, thank you for the question. Now, this is a strange question. Brushing in front of the TV is something I've heard for the first time. So, Sunita, you want to say anything?
I think she's posed a very right question, whether it should be brushed in front of the mirror or not at all or not. I think once you use the mirror, it really guides you कि आप कैसे कर रहे हो brush. That is extremely important to do upon. The second question what she's posed upon कि कितनी देर करना चाहिए. So for any surface which needs to be cleaned, it should be brushed 8 times. For example, what Dr. Khandra has got the cast here. So if I quickly suggest about on this, so this surface, if you divide it upon in different segments, in 5 segments. So quickly, if I can tell you, so if this is the surface that you're cleaning, it has to be brushed 8 times here. All right, in the right kind of direction. Similarly, if one is using this surface,
just lift it a little higher so that the viewers
so even if it is in this surface over here that we are using it, so again it should be brushed 8 times. Similarly, the one on the inner surface, अंदर की तरफ अगर नीचे की तरफ है तो उसको भी नीचे से ऊपर 8 बार करना चाहिए, minimum 8 times.
Minimum of 8 times.
So that is, one should not keep on कि उसको हम एक surface को रगड़ते जा रहे हैं. Specifically होता क्या है कि if you're using the right hand to brush, you tend to brush a lot on your left side. And left side में the moment you start giving a horizontal stroke like this, so दांत मसूड़ों के पास से कट जाता है. So which should not be done. So one should be very careful उसको gently ऊपर से नीचे लिया जाए, and not to ignore the surfaces on the surface of the palate, for example, जो ऊपर की अंदर की तरफ की जो सतह है या जो परत है, वो layers को बिल्कुल ध्यान से हमें brush करना चाहिए.
So connected to this, let's also just find out from Dr. Mahesh that there are so many advertisements about so many toothpastes these days. So what is the doctor's order here?
See, they're all the same.
Okay, they're all
the same.
Okay.
It's only thing that like any product, everybody tries to have some value addition and say that I am better than you
because I have salt in my paste.
I have salt in it, and it's
and
okay.
I have
See, basically, what is a toothpaste? Toothpaste is actually a dentifrice, something which very mild abrasive, very mild,
right.
because we can't afford to be very
Harsh
crude,
with our teeth.
crude to our
Right,
teeth, because
right.
if you use something like a sandpaper, you imagine what happens.
Right.
So it has to be ultra fine. So, and then of course, because you have a dentifrice, so it needs a vehicle, it needs something to binder. It has some humectant, because it has to retain its humidity. It has certain detergents. It also has certain fluorides, because which is known as anti-cavity measures. It has some peppermint and things like that. That's
Right,
a basic
right.
basic composition of a toothpaste. So they are all same, but we only have to ensure one thing, that it's a standard toothpaste, because there are toothpaste which are being made in a small enterprise or
Right.
company, which is it has to be backed with proper research and proper there has to be a company with a background who's really have a good technology in preparing a toothpaste. Also, toothpaste is not a home industry, isn't it?
That's right.
So
that's
it's
right.
so that,
I'll come back to this. I think that's a very important point that you've raised. But before that, we have a viewer. This is Prashant from Delhi. So, Prashant, are you there, please?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Welcome to the show, and kindly go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am and sir.
Good evening to you. Please go ahead.
Actually, from last 3-4 months, I am having a problem on the right hand side upper teeth, third from the last. Actually, there is a pocket formation, and I went to dentist twice or thrice, and they have made the X-ray also. There is no abscess, no infection, but still I am facing a dull pain over there.
Okay.
And I do floss also, and sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't hurt, but I have a dull pain over there, and my tongue always went there, and it caused an uncomfortable situation for me.
All right.
So dentist.
Thanks for the question. I think the doctors have got it. So probably Dr. Mahesh can take that.
yes, this is Prashant has put up a very good question. This is very common.
Right.
That there's no there's no decay. X-ray is fine. See, he is having a gum problem.
Okay.
He himself said there's a pocket. What is a
Right.
pocket? Pocket is actually a space between the gum and the tooth.
And the tooth.
And it has to be. I mean, you see, if pocket is there, even if you take any amount of antibiotics or any amount of any drugs, the pocket will not be eliminated. So he needs, he needs consultation, preferably of a gum specialist. We have in dentistry, we have many subspecialists.
right.
Like a gum specialist is a periodontist who's a gum doctor. So he needs to consult that, and they have their own ways to do it. Whether they will eliminate this pocket, blind without a surgery, or sometimes they may have to do a small procedure also, surgery also, reflect it, clean up the whole thing, put back, stitch back, and everything becomes okay. So his symptoms are very suggestive of a gum disease.
Right.
But again, it has to be examined,
Investigated.
and then only it can be really corroborated that what exactly what is he. It could be he could have a decay also, which is in very initial stage, which is not picked up in X-ray. Sometimes X-rays also are not able to pick up the initial lesions. So it needs to be clinically examined and corroborated what exactly he is suffering from.
Right. I think, Prashant, your question has really been answered very well by Dr. Mahesh here. Well, time for us to slip into yet another break. So keep your questions ready, because we are going to be coming back very quickly. The numbers are there on your screen, and I would repeat them: 1800115314 and 23035420. Oral health is what we are talking about today. Welcome back. This is Healthy India, and today we are talking about oral health. So if you have a question that you want an answer to, anything in your mind, that any clearances that you want, our doctors are here. And just pick up your phone and reach us at 1800115314 or 23035420. Having said that, we are joined by Mr. A.K. Bahel from Ludhiana. So Mr. Bahel, are you there with me, please?
हेलो
Yeah, please go ahead.
जी, मैं लुधियाना से बोल रहा हूँ।
जी।
मैं ना जब भी ब्रश करता हूँ तो ना मेरे दांतों से मसूड़ों में से खून बहने लग जाता है। वो ब्रश भी सकता है कुछ, लेकिन कोलगेट का नहीं मेरे को पता कि वो क्या नुकसान कर सकती, तो आप मुझे बताएं।
Okay, thank you for the question. Dr. Kharbanda, maybe you can take that.
क्या हाल है बहल साहब आपका? He can't hear me.
He can hear you, but we are not connected anymore.
Now, बहल साहब ने ये बताया कि जब वो ब्रश करते हैं तो उनके मसूड़ों से खून आता है. Now, this is a sign that you have gingivitis, which is a gum disease, or maybe little advanced to that, which we call it in layman terms pyorrhea. और द जनरल टेंडेंसी ये रहती है कि अगर खून आता है तो हम उससे को हिस्से को अवॉइड करते हैं, ब्रश करना वहाँ पे नहीं करते, परंतु उल्टा होना चाहिए. अगर खून आता है तो उसको सॉफ्ट ब्रश से और ज़्यादा ब्रश करें ताकि उसमें से गंदा खून निकल जाए. तो ब्रश तो करना ही है, ब्रश करना बंद नहीं करना है, सॉफ्ट ब्रश लेना है. इसके साथ साथ पेस्ट थोड़ा लगाना है, बहुत ज़्यादा पेस्ट नहीं लगाना है. जो भी आप पसंद करते हैं पेस्ट वो कीजिए. और तीसरी बात यह है कि आपको अब एक प्रोफेशनल एडवाइस की ज़रूरत है जिसमें आपके गम्स का ट्रीटमेंट होगा. उसमें हो सकता है कुछ आपको एंटीबायोटिक खानी पड़े, कुछ स्पेसिफिक माउथ वॉश जो कि गम डिजीज़ के लिए दी जाती हैं वो दी जाएंगी. और इसके अलावा प्रोफेशनल ट्रीटमेंट जिसमें डीप क्यूरेटार्च भी हो सकता है, डीप क्लीनिंग हो सकती है, और ये सब की ज़रूरत होगी. तो आप मेरी सलाह ये रहेगी कि आप एक प्रोफेशनल एडवाइस ले लें और उसके बाद यू शुड बी फाइन.
Right. Well, so that's the answer to your question, and we have another viewer here. This is Mr. Suleiman Khan from West Bengal. So, Mr. Khan, can you hear me, please?
मेरा सवाल दांत से सब बढ़ जाता है, ग्राइंडिंग करवा के डेंटिस्ट के पास जाकर करके उसके बाद इसके बाद जीभ पकड़ जाता है मेरा, थोड़ा गंध भी आता है.
I'm afraid मुझे समझ नहीं आया है आपका सवाल. अगर आप फिर दोबारा समझाना चाहें तो.
जीभ कट जाता है, जीभ कट जाता है,
जीभ कट जाता है
दांत के द्वारा. हाँ जी,
दांत के द्वारा. ओके.
कभी कभी गंध आती है मुंह से.
राइट. डॉक्टर सुनीता, क्या इनकी क्या दिक्कत हो सकती है?
जो इन्होंने बताया कि उनकी जीभ कट जाती है दांतों से, इट्स अ सीरियस इश्यू, बिकॉज कोई भी चीज़ अगर लगातार लगती रहती है तो वहाँ छाला बन जाता है. इट हैज़ अ टेंडेंसी टू फॉर्म एन अल्सर. और उसके साथ अगर आप स्मोक भी कर रहे हैं या कोई किसी तरह का तम्बाकू का व्यसन का भी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं तो पोटेंशियली मैलिग्नेंट या प्री कैंसरस कंडीशन जिनको बोलते हैं हम, जो कैंसर की पहले की स्टेजेस हैं, वो भी ज़्यादा बनने की संभावना हो जाती है उसमें. तो सबसे पहले तो जो भी चीज़ आपको मुंह में कहीं भी चुभ रही है, वो चाहे आपका कोई डेंचर जो निकालने लगने वाला डेंचर भी अगर है वो भी चुभ रहा है, या किसी तरह की तार चुभ रही है अगर ऑर्थोडोंटिक ट्रीटमेंट करवा रहे हैं, या फिर कोई दांत बहुत पैना नुकीला हो गया है, तो उसे इमीडिएटली डेंटिस्ट के पास जाके उसको ग्राइंड करवा के एंड वी शुड मेक इट स्मूथ. जहाँ तक वो दूसरी बात कह रहे हैं कि उनके मुंह से बदबू भी आ रही है, हम पहले भी इसके बारे में आई थिंक डॉक्टर महेश शर्मा ने ऑलरेडी बात करी हुई है. और अगर एज स्पेसिफिकली 30 या 35 साल से ऊपर है तो एक बार अपना डायबिटीज़ का चेकअप भी ज़रूर करवाना चाहिए, क्योंकि कई बार होता है कि इस तरह की कंडीशंस में बहुत जल्दी मसूड़ों का इन्फेक्शन होना और बदबू वगैरह आना उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा कॉमन हो जाता है. तो आई थिंक डेंटिस्ट के पास जाएं और एक तो अपना पैना नुकीला दांत को वो एड्रेस करें और साथ में ही स्केलिंग करवा के एंड it should be addressed upon.
Right. Now we are joined by Rahul Sinha from Chhattisgarh. So Rahul, can you hear me please?
Ma'am, good evening and good evening all the sir.
Good evening to you.
There are 4 questions from my side. First, I have a decay in my teeth. I have gone to a dentist. She has taken an X-ray and she said that it has to be removed.
Okay.
And artificial teeth has to be put. But another dentist, I went to another dentist. He said, okay, teeth can be saved. So what should I do here? First thing, And ma'am, my second question is, why is there is such a considerable price differentiation between this? There is a very significant price difference of the fees. And ma'am, one more question.
Okay, very quickly, please.
This, ma'am, there are so many advertisements over that. Basically, I am confused which doctor I should follow. The advertising one or the, I don't know, to mouth publicity, that one.
All right, all
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thank you for the question. Dr. Mahesh, आप बताना चाहेंगे सारे सवालों का जवाब, please.
Yes, he said, Rahul, no? He's
Rahul.
Chhattisgarh.
Yeah.
Rahul ji, you went to a doctor and somebody said that go for extraction. Then he probably went to another doctor who had probably higher level of skills. Probably he was a specialist who knew root canal, well, and who was confident that he could save the tooth. So obviously, the choice would be to save the tooth,
Right.
because losing a tooth is no point of no return.
True.
So he can go for root canal or saving the tooth, and if it still doesn't work out, then he can always get it extracted. So that's one. And secondly, he's raised a very well question that there is a marketing galore these days. People are, the doctors are, sometimes it becomes slightly unethical also.
True.
So it's not, it's the medical services cannot be compared to a commodity that you can just, you can. So, but you see, in today's world, when the competition is so much, there that there are some doctors who try to resort to, let it be. If it is healthy and if it is honest, there is no. But I would advise Rahul that I think everything looks good in marketing, but he should cross check the reputation of the doctor, his skills, the patients whom he has treated. I think that will be more reliable, rather than just succumbing to these the gizmos
and the
marketing.
problem, Dr. Mahesh, with these advertisements is that most advertisements of toothpaste are advertised by they'll dress this person up like a doctor. So it's very difficult for people really to understand whether it is coming actually from a doctor or is just an actor.
I want to share with you that say in our country, sometime back, some of our doctors they started endorsing. And
right.
it is unethical, and they can be
paste for sensitive teeth.
It is not done. Nobody can. We can of course try many things, but we can't just endorse.
Exactly.
That's one. So that is why now some of these companies are using foreign doctors.
Foreign doctors, yes.
Foreign doctors who are practicing elsewhere as this thing. So I feel that this is okay. These are marketing tricks.
Gimmicks.
Marketing gimmicks, and one should make their own opinion, honest opinion, what is right for them. I mean, it's okay. It's nice to know, nice to have information, but whether that product works for you or not, you have to make a decision.
And somehow those toothpaste make everybody believe that 9 out of 10 people have sensitive teeth.
No, that's always there. It's always there. But you also know that keep aside the toothpaste. We buy so many things in our life every day, and we know we get swayed by these marketing gimmicks, and then ultimately we end up experience the product. So sometimes it works, sometimes it may not work.
That's right. Another viewer online, this is Anshul Kapoor from Delhi. So Anshul, are you there?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you. Please go ahead.
My child is of 5.5 years. She is having 3 cavities in 3 different chewing teeth. That is at the back.
Right.
And when we go to the dentist, he has done some filling. And every time the filling comes out, and the next time he says that there is no benefit in doing filling, as they are milk teeth and they will fall and the new ones will come. So is he right that we should not treat them and we should leave them as it is, or we should go in some for treatment to save our teeth, or that the cavity will affect the roots of the teeth or anything like that?
Right. Thank you for the question, and I think that's a very interesting question. Dr. Kharbanda, I would want you to
Yes,
take this,
I think
please.
this is a question which I think many audience listeners
many
would like
parents
to
especially.
have answer about it. Now, the baby teeth, which are the back baby teeth, at 5.5 years, I would think they are very important.
Right.
Because we have baby molars, and these baby molars usually fall at the age of 12 years to 13 years, and they have a purpose to serve. And what purpose they serve is that they are the teeth who are like guidance to the teeth underneath, where the permanent teeth are housed below their roots. So, they guide them to come to their proper place. So, in a way they maintain the integrity of the baby teeth, all them together. So, now if the fillings have come out, probably I do not know, fillings should not come out. That is the first thing, they should be there. But if they are very badly decayed, now even the baby teeth can undergo root canal treatment. So, probably he needs to see a doctor who is
competent
give
doctor.
him professional advice after taking X-rays. And it is better to preserve baby teeth rather than to extract. But if they were the front teeth, incisors at 5.5, we don't worry about them too much, because at 6 usually the permanent teeth starts coming through, the front ones. But the back ones will come later.
Right. Well, so that's the answer for many parents out there for their children. Well, time for us to slip into one more break in this program, but we are going to come back very quickly, so do see us on the other side. Welcome back. This is Healthy India, and today we are talking about oral health. Well, you've been calling us and we've been giving you the answers for all questions regarding oral health. The numbers are on your screen. If you still have something to ask, be very quick, pick up your phone and reach us at 1800115314 or 23035420. Having said that, we are joined by Shiv Narang from Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Narang, can you hear me please?
नमस्कार मैम, मैं जानना चाह रहा था
जी
कि रूट कनाल ट्रीटेड जो ट्रूथ होता है इसकी लाइफ क्या होती है एवरेज, और दूसरा क्वेश्चन मेरा ये था कि ये जो ट्रीटमेंट है दांतों का इतना एक्सपेंसिव क्यों है? इसका स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन क्यों नहीं है कि कैविटी का इतना होगा या आरसीटी का इतना होगा? हर जगह अलग अलग रेट है और बहुत ज्यादा रेट है। इतना एक्सपेंसिव क्यों? क्योंकि एक आम आदमी जो है वो जाता ही नहीं, डरता है बहुत।
Thank you so much, and I think that's a very good question. So who would want to take it? Okay, Sunita can start first.
जो इन्होंने शिव नारंग जी ने कहा है कि उनका रूट कैनाल कितनी लॉन्जिटिविटी या दांत कितने टाइम तक चल सकता है करने के बाद में। बेसिकली होता ये है कि जब हम रूट कैनाल कर देते हैं उसके बाद दांत डिहाइड्रेट हो जाता है, और डिहाइड्रेट होना मतलब उसमें जो उसका हाइड्रेशन लेवल है वो कम हो जाता है और वो दांत ब्रिटल हो जाता है। So it's something like a bone which is deprived of calcium, and then it tends to become more brittle and it fractures much easily. So similarly this tooth also, जिसमें root canal हो जाता है, and if you do not reinforce it with a crown on it after the root canal has been done, it tends to fracture. Specifically जो पीछे के molars हैं, the posterior molars, which are normally used to bite the teeth, I mean which is used for biting hard things. So then the longevity goes, because उसके बाद अगर आप उसका hygiene proper रखते हैं, उसको brush ठीक से करते हैं, clean properly करते हैं, so it lives as long as you live. The second question what is posed upon is that the costing.
Right.
So I think जिसकी localities posh है, they have to incur more cost, and the logistics, you know, what goes along with it. But I think अगर doctor अच्छा है, and you know, so.
I like
Dr.
to add
Mahesh,
here,
would you want
Lottie.
to add? Yeah,
I like
please.
to add here. You see, how does one decide what he has to charge for a treatment? You know, it is not arbitrarily. You see, it depends on so many things. You know, your setup, your equipment, your level, your skills, your experience. You know, everything that costs. And you know, there would always be, you know, like in a medicine, you have registered medical practitioners, you have super specialists, they're probably treating the same thing differently. So now a very valid point which we should derive from this is that, you know, the dental treatment is the fourth most expensive treatments for any treatments in the world. Fourth most expensive is the dental treatment. This is all the more reason that we take care of our teeth. We don't allow the disease to come up, you know, because this should be one of the reasons, because, you know, as we said, we've been talking, all of us been talking about that dental problems are preventable. Largely, to a great extent.
Right.
So if we take care of our teeth, we don't allow the problems to magnify, we don't end up spending more. You know, so that's all the more reason that
that's an interesting way of putting it, actually. Well, we have another viewer. This is Asha Pal from Uttar Pradesh again. So if you're there with me, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Can you hear me? All right. We seem to have lost that connection. Now, Dr. Kharbanda, coming to you, I think this is something that we must talk about, that sometimes if, say, somebody has had a minor accident or something, and you know, that you get a little hurt on the tooth, and the course of time it gets darkened, it gets black. Now, what is this problem all about, and how should this be treated?
Yeah, especially children, you know.
Children, right.
They are cycling, they are playing, or sometimes a cricket ball hits on the teeth. So there can be various levels of consequences. Something could be it is just an hit, and you get little pain and you forget about it. The other situation could be a part of the tooth is fractured. The other thing could be the wall of the tooth also comes out. So I will just give you three in very brief three options. So now if the tooth is just hurt, so it may become all right in few days time. But in another situation, the tooth may start becoming dark and then gray and then black. Now this shows that the pulp inside, which is the root canal inside where there is a blood vessels, they have died. And now this tooth requires a treatment which is a root canal treatment. Now if it is not treated, now many people ask that I got hurt when I was 10 years, now I am 25 years, nothing happened, but now suddenly I got swelling, I have got a big infection. Because or the root apex inside the bone, that infection, sometimes chronic infection keeps on accumulating. It can make a big cyst, or it may get very badly infected, and then at that stage it may be difficult to treat. You might have to extract the tooth and put an implant or an artificial tooth, and infection can be sometimes very bad. So it is better if a tooth is hurt, it is becoming black, you have it treated then and there. Another situation is, which very few people would know, and I think I want to make people aware about it, that if the tooth is fallen out of the mouth, then I would suggest that pick up the tooth and put it in the milk and rush to your nearest dentist as soon as you can. So this tooth can be placed back, can be reimplanted, and it has its own life after implantation.
Right. So, Dr. Sunita, would you want to add anything to this, specifically when a person, you know, suffers some kind of trauma on one's teeth?
I think when one gets a trauma, it needs to be assessed primarily is that if the broken tooth segment has not impregnated or gone into any other, you know, soft tissue, for example, lips and things like that. So that is very important. There are other sports which, you know, where we tend to have the injury to the teeth, very common. For example, maybe, you know, boxing or there are allied kind of sports. So in those kind of situations, these children should be made to wear a kind of a bite guard,
Right,
which can
right.
which can support, or a mouth guard, which can really support the tooth, the surfaces of the teeth, and it doesn't allow the injury to directly have an impact. For example, the way we wear the helmets.
Right,
So
right.
it prevents, it's a preventable. So I think one should really emphasize upon in the schools as well, and in the academies where they run these kind of sports to have them.
Right. Finally, Dr. Mahesh, I would want you to tell us as to what are the advancements that are being made these days, specifically in terms of implants.
See, implants came up, it came to our country in 80s, the initial phase of implantology, and over the years it has become something like a routine procedure, mainstream procedure. I think now most practitioners would like to do implants, or they are already doing implants.
Right.
At least the simple cases. Of course, complex cases needs multiple disciplines to work together, surgeon, prosthodontist, who replaces teeth, and it could be a teamwork, or they could just do it if they have the adequate skills. So today implants have become accessible, affordable, and possible. So which when we were studying, we used to only dream about it, that
Right.
whether it would happen in our lifetime
Or not.
I think today the prices have come down, and I think we should take advantage of the technologies. And there are so many other new technologies, not just implant, there are allied things, bone grafting. We have bone graft materials today. If there is no bone, because implant you would be placing in the
That's
bone.
right, right.
If there is no bone, how do we generate bone? Either you take patient's own bone, or you use some artificial ways of growing bone. And while you are placing implant, you still need to add certain bone, because there may not be enough bone at the site. So there are so many allied technologies. And then when you place an implant is only a fixture, it's not a tooth. Again a myth, people think implant is a tooth. Implant is only a wire media to hold a tooth.
Right.
So we have now we making fabricating teeth by CAD/CAM, computer aided design, computer aided manufacturing. We are eliminating metals now.
Okay.
We are not using metals, we are using ceramics. So there is no metals in mouth. So and these teeth which are milled by computers have more precision, they are more accurate, they have nice fit, and they are easy to fabricate. Of course, every technology comes with a cost.
Comes with a cost,
But
yes.
but those technologies have
the ones who
become
can
available
take advantage
and
of
becoming
that
quite
must.
popular in our country. Yes.
Right, right. So finally, what is it that you would want to say, Dr. Kharbanda, as far as oral health really goes? Take home message for the people.
The take home message is that God has made teeth for certain reasons, and they have made milk teeth and the permanent teeth, and take care of them, and you can do prevention of, you can prevent your teeth to decay, you can prevent the gum disease, and if you can do that by simple methods, by just being strict with your hygiene methods, with your food habits, they will not only last you for lifetime, even beyond life, because all research which is happening in anthropology is based on skulls and teeth.
That's
they give us
right.
a lot of information.
Absolutely, that's very well said. Yes, Sunita, what is it you would want to leave today for the viewers?
I think eat lot of fibrous food, avoid smoking, use of tobacco, brushing twice a day, using a dental floss, and visiting your dentist at least every 6 months.
Right.
Once in 6 months.
Right, right.
So I think that will be a fantastic way to be a preventive form of, not to have any kind of oral disease.
Right. Final words, Dr. Mahesh.
I think it's already been said. I think the most important is don't gamble with your teeth. The teeth are not meant to be abused.
Right.
And take care of them. We think the teeth are the hardest part of the body. They are. But at the same time, we need to be gentle. We need to be, we need to take care of them. Just because they're the hardest part of the body, we can't just allow them to be abused.
Absolutely.
And most of the problems, dental problems, happen because of the neglect, low level of awareness, and sheer neglect. We just tend to
Neglect our
just
teeth.
yeah, we,
That's right.
just we think that, I mean, it's okay. How does it matter if a tooth is affected or it is not life threatening? I think
Absolutely.
that's not once you have a dental problem, you realize the importance of teeth and gums.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I'd like to say thank you to all three of you for coming today and for talking about oral health and explaining so many things to us in such easy terms. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So, well, folks, the first thing is don't gamble with your teeth, as Dr. Mahesh said. Don't abuse them in any way. They may be the hardest part of your body, but that does not mean that you can neglect them. So, because of sheer neglect and because of unawareness, as he said, we really tend to gamble with our teeth. So, take care, keep your hygiene standards high, and whenever there's a problem, don't start treating it yourself. Go to the doctors. There's a lot of advancement these days in teeth. So, if you can bear the cost, then you can do wonders with your teeth. But even otherwise, don't think that you can't get them treated, because you can. And as Dr. Kharbanda said, that most of the problems of the teeth are preventable. So, whether it is decaying or it is bad breath or any of those other problems, we can take care of them, provided that we are a little careful about our oral hygiene. Well, so that's all I have for you this evening. Do join me next week when we'll be taking up another health issue with another set of doctors. Till then, this is Lottie Alaric saying goodbye, and take good care of your teeth so that your smile says a lot more about you than it does now. So thanks.